firstly, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for the privilege of getting to have this conversation with you. It's not every day that you get to talk to someone that jackpot. So yeah, like we mentioned, basic introduction. Who you, what you do, and where you at.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for having me. Um, my name is Samuel Olive, and I am an IT student. I'm currently in the Philippines, Manila. I'm a third year student of information technology, but I'm studying artificial intelligence. I also studied in Nigeria about chemistry degree. So I did biochemistry, and but I have switched. So I'm currently running another BSc in information technology, specifically in artificial intelligence, and that's basically what I'm doing here. So I'm a student in the Philippines.
Oh, that's cool. I think the first thing I'd like to know is what made you leave?
School. That was all. Unlike most
The, the,
people that Jackpa, the only reason I traveled was for school. I hope to come back to Nigeria and settle down in Nigeria.
oh, that's cool. So traveling out, it's a thing, right? And I think it has been a thing for a while. However, a lot of people are aware that there are certain challenges involved with traveling. And I once had a friend who had to raise about 20 million naira in 2 weeks because she didn't know that there was an account that she was supposed to have been funding as she prepared to
Yeah.
travel out to just let them know that she has money, right? That she'd be able to like sustain herself. And she didn't know up until like 2 weeks to when she was supposed to leave.
Oh,
So so I just dropped a message on the group. I was like, Alpha guys, I defined 20M. And
so that's fair to
yeah,
you guys.
yeah. You would imagine. So everyone that had money, so it's just to show transaction records. So
Yeah.
people, a couple of us began sending money into the account, and she just transferred out and stuff like that. But so personally for you, what were some of the challenges involved in preparing to leave the country for school?
So I'm doing a 4 year course, but I spent 2.5 years in Nigeria doing it because I started 2020 Corona year. So I was schooling in Nigeria online for 2 years, 2.5 years before I came in last year. So I had to pay school fees, I had to pay class dues, had to pay other things. That was even before the whole preparation to Jackpot. So I was already having issues with international
Payments.
finance, yeah, transactions. So my school pays school fees every semester. So I had about 5 payments before I traveled. Um, the first one was quite tough because we do not have, unlike European countries that have euros that is quite popular, American states that have um, dollars, and then we know pounds. Those are common, but for Philippines, you can't just get peso in a bank. So it was quite a difficult transaction or process. So what we did, well, I went to my bank and learned that there was something called Form A that you apply for, and it was quite tedious because so aside from applying for it, you have to bring series of documents that they have to approve, and then you will now join the list of all the people come in Nigeria that are applying for Form A. It was so special that if you make a mistake, you can't make a mistake. It's just one they'll give you. and at the end of the day, they collate them and send to CBN. Now CBN starts calling and sending out payments according to like first come first serve basis. So even if I submitted like number two in my bank, by the time they gathered the whole Nigerian um, different banks and all of that, I might be like 230 something or 300 something, and it takes a lot of process. And another thing was they won't send the money to a private account, any other account. It has to be directly to your school. So they have to confirm from your school first that you're a student there and all of that. So it was really tedious. And the whole process used to take about roughly 2 weeks initially. And then over time it became months. And my school was it's affected my schooling a lot. I remember the last payment before I came over, it was really bad. My dean he was almost suspended because he stuck his neck out for me, and I hadn't paid 6 weeks after registration had closed for the semester because I paid like 3 months ahead, but CBN was having, I don't know what they were having issues. So that was school fees payment was one of the issues I had. Another problem was before I traveled, like what your friend was talking about, there's something called PTA, personal traveling allowance. So
Yeah.
what Nigerians do basically is so it's available. The bank will give you money in dollars, and then you're supposed to use that dollar to spend on your trip. But Nigerians purchase the dollar so that they can sell in black market and have like times two the price. So I was really banking on that, and they also needed to check my account and make sure that I could afford it and all of that. The issue was because of the school fees thing. So I wasn't enrolled for the semester, and I have to be enrolled to apply for PTA. I couldn't get my documents on time. Also, my flight and my visa, everything was delayed. It's a long story. So I think I had to travel 2 weeks, 2 weeks to my trip, my flight date. I was done. I thought I was done with my application for the PTA, but apparently, I don't know, there were issues involved. So they kept telling me that it was okay. I was verified. All I had to do and what was remaining was to send me the funds to credit my account. And
Okay.
yeah, it was there, but I traveled, and weeks after I didn't get it. And then eventually my mom went to the bank, and they said they couldn't give me the money because I traveled before they could send it to me. Now, now I traveled empty-handed in the hope that I will get money when they arrive. Like last, they'll credit my account. And then they also deceived me to open a shall I say dollar account? It's not really a dollar account. They call it a gold Visa Gold account, right? So they said when they credit the money they were going to send to that account. I paid money, dollars for that account and that card. It took me a long time to get it. So only for me to get here and discover that that card was useless. I couldn't use it for most of the transactions except online. So I can't walk into a bank and get money. The money I was expecting, all my hopes on that money, I couldn't get it. And then school fees continuous was a continual challenge because even now that I'm here, I still cannot just pay my school fees like that. So it's it's tasking, especially for a country like this that is not um, we don't have the currency is not so popular like that. So it's I think it's quite hard for us, and it's been a journey. It's been tough. So if I want to get money from Nigeria, so there's just like black markets kind of. If somebody's going to send me money, they send it to a broker here, the Nigerian account. When the person gets the alert or the naira, or they would now in turn send me the peso equivalent. But now that will be charging at their rate. So I am getting at normal bank rates, say, for example, in normal bank rates, naira to peso is like 6 naira to 1 peso, but doing it their way, it is 14 naira. So it's over times two the money. Um, so it's more expensive. The process is longer, and I don't know. It's just especially the expense. So now, if my next fees I'm supposed to pay is in August, that's my next installment date. I applied. My mom already started the process in Nigeria, but she said some days ago that they didn't approve it. So, and this is like you're going to spend 3, 4 months applying for one thing, and there's no assurance that you're going to
Guarantee.
get it exactly. So at the end of the day, and then these people here, they are not like Nigerians. If they give you a date and you pass it, they just feel like you are tardy, you are not serious. Maybe you want to even scam them, as per Nigeria already has bad name. So yeah.
All right. That's really a lot. So it means for any sort of payment you want to make, you have to start planning 4 to 6 months ahead.
Not any sort, just school fees because they only send it to your school.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so if I want to make
So
payments for other things, say my
yeah.
electricity bill, my internet and all of that, I have to pass through that process of sending it through the broker. That's that's the way all Nigerians here get their money. You have to do that. Um, you don't just there's no available peso that you just go to the bank and go and buy like normal. So anything I have to do now, I have to calculate at the rate of the broker, not bank rate.
So it means for every other transaction, you're going to be spending times two of what we'd have initially spent.
Yeah, more than times two actually.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
All right. So are these brokers, are they Nigerians?
Yeah, they are. They're Nigerians.
Nigerians. Okay. So they're Nigerians who have been maybe in the Philippines for a while and
Yes.
have access to pesos.
Yeah.
Okay. They're the abuki of
Exactly. Exactly. Get it. Yeah, they are they are okay with the Philippines. Yes.
you just imagine that Burundi change is only in Nigeria.
No,
Wow.
it's not. It's even with our shop, but it's not. And they make a lot of money from doing that because aside I mean, just imagine how many Nigerians are in the Philippines and the rate that they charge and the number of transactions they have to do. That's a lot of money. They actually really live like
Yeah,
big boys.
they are. They are. Like it's nothing short of it. So have you sought out alternatives?
Yep. I remember trying to use my dollar card and PayPal, um, Maya. There's something they call Maya here, Pay Maya, and other apps. It's quite difficult. What the issue I had was for my dollar account. I don't know what I don't want to call the name of the bank, so I don't cast them. But I don't know what my bank did that I couldn't use it for some merchants, what do you call them now? Online merchants to pay. I couldn't get.
It's a Nigerian.
I don't.
It's a Nigerian bank.
Now. it's,
It's
it's a
there
Nigerian
was a
bank. Oh, I
there was
don't
a
know what.
policy. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was a policy that was put in place. I think your daily spend, either your daily or monthly spend, for most Nigerian cards was reduced. So you only have about maybe I think I had $3. I'm not sure of the figure, but
Well, that
you have you have very little amount of money to spend daily. So, and any transaction you try after that, it just tell you that um, service switch provider or insufficient balance, and you'll be looking at your card like, I have money, but
Right? Oh, no, that makes a lot of sense because no, that has just made a lot of sense because I didn't know. There was a particular day I was very sure that I had money in my dollar accounts, and I don't know. I tried, and it kept telling me insufficient, and I just did not get it. Then they sent me my statements from the bank in Nigeria,
yeah,
and they were showing me my available balance, and they were showing me my like ledger
yeah,
balance. I'm like, that means I have money. So why are you saying that it's insufficient? I tried again, still said insufficient. So maybe that's what happened. But even at that, my issue with the card wasn't just that it was saying insufficient. At some point, it took me a long time to find a merchant that could accept it. It wasn't even working. Like, you go to the mall and you want to pay with your card, and it wasn't just working. It was quite embarrassing. After you've already packed everything, you now go back and start arranging them on the shelf again. So it's crazy. So it's crazy. It's not like you don't have the money, you just couldn't access it.
yeah.
So
You can access it.
yeah, and then for the other apps, all those PayPal and co, is the same thing about dollar. I also tried walking into the bank to just see if I could
Over the counter.
bypass the abukis, but it was not just possible. The requirements they were asking for, I couldn't get them. And then for students, it's also quite hard because here, when they give you a student visa, you're not allowed to work. And then when they give you a working visa, you're not allowed to study. So you have to have one and forfeit the other. So yeah, that's why I'm still collecting money from my parents. But so the money is um the student visa now is restricting you. So the requirements they're asking for at the bank, you can't afford it, you can't get it because you're not working, and so many other things. I think they kind of make it um, extra hard for foreigners, and maybe extra hard raised to power two for blacks.
Nigerians.
I don't want to say anything further, but it's harder. It's harder for us. Like, you just mention some amounts of money and they're already looking at you like, is this a scammer?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
it's not
So
other things have so far proved futile.
okay, that makes a lot of sense. So if you had a platform that you could pay directly into, um, let's say your school partnered with a platform and you're required to pay directly via the platform to get to pay your school fees and other dues that you need to pay, would it be a preferable option?
Definitely. So you're saying, for example, I pay in Naira to that platform and my school gets the peso equivalent?
Yeah. So the platform handles the exchange, and all you need to do is verify that you're a student of that school when you make your Naira payment, and maybe include the invoice. So for school fees, do you guys generate like an invoice where you get to pay it, or there's something else that is generated for you to pay it?
Oh, we just go to the school counter and just, if the bank does it from Nigeria, they just send it to them and then send us the receipts or invoice, like you say. So
Okay.
my school gets the alert. So most time before we even present the receipts, they already gotten it.
Right. So
If I that'll be
like
that'll be
what the
zero.
bank would do in, let's say, 3 months, you could do in 48 hours.
Wow,
Would that be a favorable alternative?
that's like that'll be like answer to a lot of prayers. Yes, that'll be that. That would be perfect, actually. And
All right.
aside, it's going to benefit a lot of persons because why a lot going through this, not just me. Like I, I know a lot of persons that are having this same issue in the Philippines. Just imagine that every Nigerian has to go through this. So it makes a lot of sense, and to be a lot helpful in like it to go far because it's also affecting our credibility somehow
Yes.
because now it's happened the first time, happens the second time, you're giving the same excuse of my bank, my bank, my bank. So somehow they don't just believe you, and it doesn't also help that blacks. So it will go a long way. I mean, they tell you this is school fees, you pay in less than I even say a week. That's that's a big difference. It helps then helps to restore our image too.
All right. That's cool. So on an average, if you would give an estimate, how many Nigerians are in your school?
Oh, in my school is not as popular. It's
Yes, sir.
a private school, but I know another school in um the same city that I stay, not too far from where I stay.
Manila.
So yes, in Las Piñas too, just not too far from where I stay. That they have a lot of Nigerians. Say on an average, they have there should be over 1,000 Nigerians in the school, and they keep coming and going. So there are Nigerians everywhere. But for my school, I'm like, I think we're just like three Nigerians in my school. My school is like a private school, so I can use my school as a case study. But for other
I no
schools, yeah,
problem.
you need it. And for other cities, I think there are more Nigerians in other cities than in Manila, like Cebu. I know that's where almost all the Nigerians settled in. So there will be more persons there. So yeah,
All right.
that was,
All right. Thank you so much, Lee. This has been very,
like,
very insightful. I'm very grateful for the conversation.
thank you too for having me. For allowing me wear your ears off with a lot of talk. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome.
I that this project you guys do will actually, you know, be fulfilling and successful because people need it and it will be a big lifesaver. Honestly, it will make a lot of difference and I hope it pulls through. That's Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah.